Hivers, welcome to Honeybee Stamping Hive, where creative buzz is always in the air. I am Tashana Lundy, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I will be showing you how to make this magic color slider card. I posted this on my blog last Saturday, and I got a request to show how to make it. So this is what we're going to be making today. Well, we won't be making this particular one, but we're going to be making a slider card. I wanted to change it up because I don't really like making multiple of the same thing. So we're going to be making a slider card, but it's going to be different, okay? So we're going to start with a basic gray cardstock that is cut at 8.5 by 9.5. And we're going to get our scoring tool because that's what we're going to be using to score it. It's going to be a little bit out of the frame, I know, because it's so big, but we're going to work with it. On the long side, on a with the 9.5 inch side across the top, we're going to score at 4 3/4 and 9. And then on the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score at 2 1/4. And we're just going to rotate this around to get this end over here and score at 2 1/4. That's all the scoring we need to be done. So we'll put this away. And we're going to grab our trimmer. And on the trimmer, with the 9-inch score line at the bottom, well, let's use the bottom of it since we're saying at the bottom. I'm going to get a piece of scrap white to put right here at this 4 3/4 score line, just so I can see where it is. And we're going to go to, whoops, excuse me. We are going to go to, so this score line is at 2 1/4. So we want to go half an inch from 2 1/4, and which will be 2 3/4. We're going to put this white paper right on that score line just so we can see where that score line is. And we're going to take our cutting blade, which is the dark blade, and we're going to cut a line from the white cardstock, which is the 4 3/4 line. So we can go ahead and push it down, stop there, all the way down to the 9-inch. Not all the way down to the end of the paper, but right to the 9-inch. Okay? And then we're going to turn our cardstock over and do the same thing. Place our white there so that just so we can see, that's all it's doing, and place our cardstock at 2 3/4. And we're going to cut from the white cardstock, which is the 4 3/4 score line, down to the 9-inch score line. Okay? And that's all we need our trimmer for. So we'll put that away. Oops, sorry about that noise. That's loud. Okay, we don't need this little scrap anymore. So now we're just going to cut away some of. We're going to cut on this score line, on the 2 1/4 score line. We're going to cut up all the way to the 4 3/4 score line. And then we're going to cut this rectangle off. And we're going to do that on both sides. If you want, you can use your trimmer to cut these lines, since it is a long line, a long piece. It'll be straighter if you use your trimmer, but I just like using the scissors. It doesn't matter. But I didn't trim that very straight. I'm just going to take a hair of this off to get that a little straighter. There we go. Okay. And we're going to just fold on our score lines. We don't need to burnish them. We just want to fold them. And on this piece here, we're going to take just a hair off of the end of this. We just want it to be a little bit shorter, so when you fold it up, it doesn't meet exactly at the top. And we just want to make sure that this closes. And if you have any problems with this closing, you just trim off a little bit. And to me, I hear that something is catching, so I'm going to trim this just a little bit more. Because something is catching. And we want our mechanism to work pretty good. I'm going to trim off a little bit on this side. Just a hair. See, I'm not trimming off that much. And then you also want to check that your flaps don't show here or here. And if they do, it's no big deal, because these are, you just want to miter them at an angle on both sides. You don't want to take off much, just a little bit. And we can do the same thing at the bottom. We're not taking off much, just a little. Okay, and all the rest of that is garbage. So this is our base for our slider. Okay, and we're gonna take, we're gonna be using the layering circle dies, and I've numbered mine 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, because these, like this one is smaller than this one, but they don't nest in. So all the odd numbers are over here and all the even numbers are over here. So we're going to be using die number 6, and I started counting them from the smallest. So this is 6 is from the center out, number 6. And we're going to cut a hole in our cardstock here. Let me move these scissors. Okay, so we're going to cut a hole just right in the center of this. This is the front. You want to cut your hole in the front, but this won't fit through our my die cut machine. So what I'm going to have to do is fold the flaps backwards and run it through this way, okay? So just one moment while I get my big shot, and we'll do that. Don't mind my plates. I need new plates. We just got them back in not too long ago, and I need to order some more. So I'm just going to sit this on my platform. I have the magnetic plate, a cutting plate, and then my cardstock and the die. Just making sure that's where I want it. If you want, you can hold that down with a piece of washi tape, but I don't think it really needs it. Just, and then run it through. It's going to be tight, but it'll go through. Okay. There you go. And it leaves indentions on the flaps, but those are going to the back. And the reason you want to cut it still on the front is because it leaves a little messy edging from, so you don't want that on the front of your card. Okay, and then we're also going to take this die and the largest scallop circle die. Well, I've already done it, but I'm going to just show you what I did. We took some Daffodil Delight, and what I did was I just layered. I cut out the scallop and the straight edge circle to make a frame, and we're going to use this frame to put right here. Okay, so let me get my liquid glue. I like using the Tombow liquid. You can use whatever adhesive that you like. Snail would be fine, the fine tip glue pen. You don't want to put too much though. Okay, we're just going to put this right here. Around our circle that we cut out, just to give it a little frame. Okay. Next, we are going to do a little stamping. And I am going to use, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't show you. We're going to be using the Beautiful Moment stamp set. This is in the new January to June 2020 mini catalog. And I'm going to be stamping this in basic gray, the same color as our cardstock. So let me get that. And I'm going to stamp just some grass, or what is this, weeds, or I don't know. But I'm just going to stamp this here. And it doesn't matter if it gets on these because you're not going to be able to see it. Just going to stamp it all along here. Trying not to get it on your Daffodil Delight frame. And on this side, I'm just going to go a little higher because this is where we're going to put our sentiment. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to get my birds. And I'm just going to stamp those right there. Okay. I think that is all we need the gray ink for. So we'll put that away. And then our next stamping, we're going to use our Stamparatus. So I'm going to just move this to the side for now. I'm going to get my Stamparatus. I've already put my stamp on here and lined it up because I had to, you know, I made this a practice run just to make sure everything was in the right spot. Let me get my cardstock that we need. Okay, we're going to be stamping on a piece of Whisper White that is 3 7/8 by 4 5/8, okay? And we're going to put it in this direction because our card is going to be sideways. So we want our image to be oriented the right way. I couldn't get my words out. And we're going to stamp this in Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm using the Stamparatus because I want to get a really good crisp image. Plus we have to stamp this again and we want it to be in the same spot on our next sheet. And I have my magnet here, but I don't really need it for this. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yep. That looks good. So we're done with the Memento. Now we're going to get a piece of vellum. Not vellum, I'm sorry. This is window sheet. And I do want to put this magnet on the window sheet because I'm going to be using StazOn to stamp on that. And the StazOn is a little stickier and it will pull up the window sheet. So I want to make sure, just in case I need to stamp it again, that it's going to be in the same exact spot. So we're going to take our StazOn. I'm not worrying about the cleaning off the Memento from the ink pad. I mean from the stamp, because it shouldn't hurt the StazOn, but you don't want to do it in the reverse. You don't want to put your StazOn on your Memento. Okay, so we're going to just stamp this. Give it a good pressure all around. And let's see. Looks pretty good, so I don't need to restamp, so we're done with that. And we're going to take this out carefully because the StazOn is a little wet on here, so we're just going to set this aside to dry. Okay, and we're done with our Stamparatus. I'm going to just put a piece of paper in here so that it won't ink on my background, on my platform. Okay, and then we're going to go back to our base. Okay, so I have another sheet of paper of Whisper White that is 4 5/8 by 3. And this is just going to be glued in right here between these two cuts that we made on the inside. So this is the outside of our card. On the inside, we're going to glue it in right here. And you want to check and make sure, because every time you cut it, it could be a little different, that the white paper doesn't catch. Not on the, I'm sorry, on the slits, okay? So it looks pretty good. So I think I'm good to go ahead and glue this down. So I'll get our multi-purpose glue again, the Tombow. You want to make sure this is really glued down well, because you don't want this coming up and getting in the way of our magic mechanism. So we're just going to put this all the way over. And excuse my head if it gets in the way, but I'm trying to make sure that I'm in between. Okay, we're going to have that there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is fold this over. And we're going to get a 1-inch punch. Let me close up my glue. I'm going to get a 1-inch punch and put it right here and go about halfway in. Halfway or a little less than half. It depends on what opening you have right here, because like on the square card, where did I put my card, my other card? Like on this one, I didn't have much space, so I couldn't go in half. So it just depends on how much room you have up here. You just need some space so you can put your pull tab. And just be mindful that you're going through 3 layers of cardstock, so it's going to be a hard push. You just want to try to get it centered between these 2 score lines here. So on the front. I'm trying to line this up. I think right there would be good. Pieces go flying. And I also went ahead and cut out a 1-inch circle from Daffodil Delight, because that's going to be our pull tab, okay? So we're done with that punch. Now we're going to color. This is going to be the longest part. I just want to warn you right now that this video just might be a little long. I am going to need my Memento ink again. I'm going to stamp some butterflies for our little girls. I'm going to put one right here. Then I have another one on the other side of the block. And we're going to have this one right here. Okay? And then I'm just going to color this. I have a couple of Stampin' blends. We have, what color is this? The light crumb cake, the light purple posy, the bronze light pool party, the combo pack of the Calypso coral, the light pretty peacock, the ivory, and the dark daffodil delight. And I'm just gonna color the image, because this is gonna be our magic. And on certain things, I'm not really gonna be blending, it's just really coloring in. So that's it for that one. And we're gonna make the other pail a purple. Our butterflies are gonna be pretty peacock. Okay, we're going to use the ivory for the skin tone. I'm probably going to speed this up a little bit so you guys don't have to watch me color the whole thing. all done with that. So now we are gonna take this sheet. We're gonna flip it over. Make sure, okay, this is gonna be in here like this. So we wanna take this in, turn it over. We're gonna get a ruler. Let me find my ruler. And a light pencil. Let's get a pencil. We're gonna mark up 1 inch from the edge. Not 1 inch, up a 1/2 inch. A 1/2 inch up and a 1/2 inch over from the end. It doesn't have to be precise, just a roundabouts. We're gonna do that on both sides. 1/2 inch over, 1/2 inch up. And again, let me make sure, 1/2 inch, yeah. That should be about right there, okay? That's all we're gonna do right there. And we're gonna just take our scissors, excuse me for the noise, I just dropped my ruler. We're gonna ignore this line and we're just gonna cut in from the side, okay? Let me see. This is coming in this way. Yeah, we're gonna cut in from the sides. Whoops. Just gonna cut into that 1 inch mark, just like that. That's all we're gonna do, okay? So where did I put our window sheet? Where did we put our window sheet? Oh no. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I set it over there. Okay, so now we're gonna take our window sheet. And we're gonna just make sure that lines up. See how that's not lined up? We're gonna line it up. Try to get as close as possible to being perfect. Because the better it's lined up, the better this will work. Okay. I don't know, I shouldn't have did that yet. We need to get some sticky stuff, some tearing tape rather, and put it on our circle here. You want to put one piece at the top and one piece at the bottom. And what we could have done, what we should do to make it easier, is score this circle. We're just gonna put it right here. Can you see this? Putting it right. I'm gonna just put it and score it in half, okay? I don't know if you can see it on the other end, but I'm just butting it up to the edge of my scoreboard over here in the corner. And I'm gonna just score down at 1/2 inch. Okay. Fold that in half. And we're gonna remove one side of it. Make sure everything is folded over. And we're gonna take our window sheet, sit it in here, just so we'll know about where to put it on. You don't want to put it too far over, so we'll know where to lay our circle on the window sheet. Whoops. Stay straight. It doesn't have to be exact, but you want to get it as straight as you can. Okay. So now we're going to take this side off, but we don't want to put it on there yet. We're just going to line this up again. Get it lined up as best you can. And then we're going to fold it over and adhere it to the back. Now, Even though we used our Stamparatus, it's not perfectly lined up. So we're gonna take our scissors and just cut off any overhang that it didn't line up properly, because we don't want any of this getting in the way of our magic mechanism, okay? So if there's overhang anywhere, you just want to make them both the same size. Just a little bit, okay? So we're done with that. Now, what we're gonna do is take this, and we're gonna put it right here. I'm sorry, we're gonna put it right here. So we're gonna turn this over, and those little 1/2-inch cut marks we made, we're gonna just slide it in there, okay? This is like, just pop the tabs in underneath the little cut marks we made. Just pop them under. And then we're gonna fold this over here. We're gonna fold this up. Almost done with our card. So what we're gonna do next is just punch a hole. Try to get it centered. Punch a hole here. And this is where we're gonna put our ribbon. And for this, I'm gonna use the white crinkled seam binding ribbon. This can also be found in the 2020 mini. And you just need a little piece. Let me just cut off a little. You don't need much. Oh, I probably could have left myself a little longer piece though. And we probably should have did this before we connected it, but it's okay. It's okay. You're just get this through the hole. Is it through? Okay, I can't get it through, so I'm gonna just take my scoring tool and push it through. Once we get the loop through, we're gonna feed our tails through the loop. Come on, tails. I should have left a little longer piece to hold on to. I didn't think about this part. I was just thinking it doesn't need to be long on the finished product, but then pull it, okay? And there. Now we can fold this up, fold this over, and we're gonna actually adhere these down using some tearing tape. So I'm just gonna put a little piece here, and this is just gonna close the back. Move this backing. And then we're gonna take more tearing tape, because we're gonna glue this down to our card base. Now, if you want, you can make this larger and just put a panel on the back so you don't need a card base. But I like it on the card base. It gives it more interest to me. And I'm putting a lot of tearing tape because this mechanism is going to be being pulled over and over and again, so you don't want this to pull away from your card base, okay? And this is also helping to keep that seam closed. So for our card base, we have Pool Party, and this is just cut at 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're just gonna adhere it down to the base. Do we want to decorate our base? Well, you're not gonna see much of it, so we'll just leave it like this. And we're just gonna make sure that's burnished down so you can peel it off. Whoop, whoop, come on. Uh-oh, there we go. Then just center this up on your card base where you want it. It's not quite straight. And I think I pushed it down too hard. Yes, I did. Okay. Well, our card is going to be a little crooked. And to finish it off, just to decorate it a bit more, I have some of our Happiness Blooms enamel dots. This can be found in the annual catalog. And I'm going to get those with my Take Your Pick tool. Well, actually, no. We have to put our sentiment on here, don't we? I've already stamped the sentiment. It's, I used a piece of white cardstock that is about 3/4 of an inch by about 2 1/4. I flagged the ends, and then I didn't sponge the edges. I just kind of dipped it down into the ink pad. And we're gonna pop that up on dimensionals, which I've already have on the back. Okay, and we're gonna set this right to the edge. A little further down, because I want this to show a little bit, so that's why I stamped it up higher. So we're gonna put this a little further down just so that can show. Okay, now we'll put our enamel dots on. So I'm gonna have one enamel dot come up right here. Then we'll put 2 more up here. That's it. That is how you make a magic color slider card. And the it's gonna be sticky at first, but you have to just keep doing it. And the more you pull it and push it, see, it gets easier and easier to go in and out. Okay, but no color, color, no color, color. Oh goodness. And then if you we also have here where you can write your message, decorate the inside with another piece of Whisper white cardstock if you like. But that is our card today. What did you think? Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. As always, I want to thank you for buzzing by the Hive today. Until next time, buzz you later.